Good evening, race fans, and thank you for tuning in tonight, Southern Broadcast Racing Network, as we are with the Relentless Racing League at Charlotte. Going to be a long one. Going to see some veteran-themed paint schemes throughout the night. Major shout out to our veterans who had their day this past week, but are always in our thoughts, prayers, and thank yous. And with me, I got one of my personal friends, brother, Mr. Tony the Spice Frey, a former veteran himself. Tony, how you looking tonight for this long race here at Charlotte?
Oh man, this one's gonna be interesting. I forgot how hard these cars are to drive here. That turn four wall will come out and bite you real quick.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of them come out right there on that turn and just fishtail that right in, just right into the wall. I mean, tongue
Yeah,
twisters.
it feels like you can carry a lot more speed off the corner, but there's like a little transition point on the track where if you hit it wrong, it just pushes you out to the wall. I think that's gonna be the spot to watch tonight.
Man, I normally like having little this, that, and other for the veterans and stuff, but I didn't have time to unfortunately get one put together. But you're one yourself, so give us a little bit about it on your end of it. We got a few minutes here to spare.
Yeah, I mean, Veterans Day, we celebrate the people who have served our country in one of the many military branches. Me personally, I've spent 20 years in the Army. Um, you know, there's about 1% of the population that actually serves in the military. So those who make that choice and live that life, that's it's not something that a lot of people are willing to do these days.
No, it's really not. But you know what? The sacrifice of your family, it does not go. To some, it may go without notice, but to me, it don't go without notice. So I appreciate you and every one of them. Which I think we've got quite a few veterans running in here tonight, if I'm not mistaken, that running the Xfinity League.
Yeah, there's a couple. I know Matt Forns, he's a Navy veteran. Um,
I don't know. Do we really count the Navy?
I mean, it's the Navy.
Nah, I mean everybody's got to be a seaman sometime in their life.
um, we've got several veterans within our league. Not too many in the Xfinity series that I'm aware of, but definitely a few in some of our other series.
Well, I can see right there he's got that nice little scheme sitting there in pit. Oh gosh, I don't know who that Red Maverick is. You know, we spent what half a whole season trying to figure out who it was. I just thought it was some kid, but yeah, we know who it is now.
Yes, we do.
And you know what? A lot of attention gets put on veterans for this day, but something that gets overlooked is the spouses of veterans that have to go through missing holidays and stuff. So a shout out to them because you know not anybody can be a military wife or husband.
I think I can speak for most of the spouses. It's definitely a lifestyle, and it's not the easiest lifestyle. Um, a lot of time away, a lot of missing family events, that type of stuff. But it's something that we all sign on for when we take the oath, and something that we're willing to do.
Man, without further ado, you know tonight's race it's going to be a long one, 175 laps. I hope a lot of people has got their catheter in and their pee bottle close by because it's going to be a long one.
Absolutely. Typically, we have one race per season. That's kind of our crown jewel, if you will, where we have it a little bit longer than every other race. Pretty much all week, you're going to see that. Um, ARCA and trucks are at Chicagoland for a longer race, and the Xfinity and Cup Series are at Charlotte for their longer race of the season.
I expect nothing less than a good showing here. But I mean, we've got, right now in practice, it's showing Banks in second. He's coming off last week. I got to be feeling good coming into here. But you never know. I mean, Charlotte's a toss up.
Well, and not only that, there's going to be a lot of strategy tonight. Four sets of tires, 175 laps. When do you use them?
Multiply it by four and pray for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of look at it about, you know, 35 laps per set of tires, but cautions fall at different spots, and you're kind of faced with that choice. Do you take tires now and leave yourself limited maneuverability later on, or do you stay out and get passed by everybody who's on fresh tires? So it's definitely quite a bit of strategy involved. When when you have to make that call, you just hope that it plays out in your favor.
And we definitely saw last week how tires can affect the outcome of a race real quick.
And I think it's more prominent in these longer races, especially at Charlotte. We have a tendency to get some longer green flag runs. So if you decide to short pit, you got to hope that that caution doesn't come out, because not then you're down a set of tires and potentially starting at the back of the field on older tires. So a lot to be said on risk versus reward. Um, so I guess we're gonna see how the cautions fall.
Hopefully, there'll be far and few in between, and we'll see these guys have to scratch their head and really put a good strategy to it. But we know one out there that is he's good at saving gas, and that's going to be Chad Wiggins. So he'll be one to watch.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm kind of curious to see how these fast guys, that were at the front in practice, how they do on the long run. Um, if they're able to maintain that speed, or if they, tone it down a little bit and try to save the tires. So we may not see as fast at times, but should make it interesting.
Anybody? All right, we'll go with a dark horse, and I guess you can say expected to win. Who you got the expected to win?
Well, I think I can kind of, to me, there's about four different drivers that I expect to win on a weekly basis. Um, Ed Morris Jr., Davey Hendricks, Brandon Schaefer, and Brandon Banks. Those are the four that have kind of been out, the front of the pack all season. Always have speed, and you expect at least one of them to be there at the end.
You know, you're pretty close on about the same ones that I would probably I'd probably go with the same ones. And the dark horse.
I mean, this race potentially could be a race about of survival. So I mean, whoever can keep their car clean and stay on the lead lap will have a chance. A couple of them that I wouldn't necessarily call dark horses, but you know may not always finish in that top five. Um, Joey Maines, Cody Riggs, John Nidick. Those guys are always somewhere around the top 10, and if it falls their way, you know, good caution at the opportune time. Brandon Park, he's always up there, and
Yeah,
of course your favorite.
yeah, I know it. He's coming for it. I mean, he's sitting 11th right now in qualifying, but Preston's he's gonna get that win. He's coming for it. But
Well, and maybe tonight's that night. Long race. He, able to save tires a little better than other people, or gets the caution at the right time. All it takes is one caution to kind of flip your race.
yeah, either flipping it good or flipping it totally bad. I mean, it's a complete toss up. But I'm going to throw the long shot with either Preston or John Nidick tonight. They're due, and what better way to get that win than the crown jewel?
Absolutely. And then, of course, if it comes into a fuel mileage race, you can't count out Chad Wiggins.
Yeah, definitely fuel strategist right there, and we've seen him do it on tracks. And we I guess we second guessed his judgment call, but he proved us wrong.
Right?
Well, without further ado, man, we're gonna pay some of these bills, some of these sponsors, and we'll hit the national anthem and have a moment of silence on Veteran Day, and then we're gonna take a green flag racing. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
Been the first thing that's really worked for me to put me to sleep.
Helps relax me when I'm trying to go to bed.
All just really spectacular.
It also helps you put yourself into a routine.
I feel like I'm drinking lemonade. You guys give it a shot.
It works! It works! It's good!
Just try it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, Tony, the lights are off. Backstretch it is. 175 laps at Charlotte's going to transition from afternoon to night. I think these guys are ready for this.
I hope so. I mean, these guys aren't used to this long a race, so I guess we'll see.
Are you ready for it?
Oh, I'm ready for it. A couple of them that I'm going to be keep my eye on, though, are Ed Morris Jr. and Cody Kinsey. Seems like they are having some internet issues tonight.
Green flag dropped. Here we go. 175 laps at Charlotte.
Big checkup on the inside lane. Looked like the 07 did not go. Kind of stacked them all up behind him.
Yeah, that could have very well been some of that packet loss.
So far, clean racing, a little bit of side-by-side action, but the majority of them have gotten single file. Realizing it's going to be a long race and there's no need to put yourself in a bad situation yet.
Yeah, lap 3 is not where you want to do it at. Dakota's trying to get that move. He's got around Cavett, took P6. Every time I see that CSX, that country music song comes to my mind. There's a long black train.
Ooh, we almost had one in the wall there. Like Preston Hornbeck got real close.
And I noticed during practice he was flirting, trying to get that high exit.
Well, I think to be fast, you almost have to prove that if you don't exit the corner high, you're giving up time on the track. So, main thing here is patience, and like I said, don't put yourself in a bad spot this early in the race.
Yeah, because ain't nothing like sitting out and watching 170 laps.
Or sitting in the pits for 30 minutes waiting for your car to get fixed and come back and run around with less power and not handling well. Kind of ruins the whole night for you. Looks like we're kind of breaking away into two different packs here.
Yeah, that pack that Nidek's in, that's been real side-by-side racing. I mean, Broswell, Wiggins, Rogers, Nidek, Harris, Hornbeck, that little group right there is. I'm going to say if a caution is going to come out, it's going to come out from that bunch right in there.
Yeah, kind of right around that like 12th, 11th, 10th kind of area there.
We've got William Regan making a move on the high side of Gary Sack. Going to be battling with the door-to-door, side-to-side, going into 3.
Yeah, got up pretty high on the track there. We'll see. He's able to get the car turned, though, so he might have a decent exit. Nah, got in the wall. That's going to kill his momentum, and now he's under attack. I can't see who that is. Looks like maybe Emmanuel. Emmanuel Forget.
Yeah.
He's able to make the pass. He falls in line there. Like Dakota kind of went up the track there in turn 4 as well. There is a line on the top side that really protects you from the wall, but you're giving up a lot of time. That's the downside to it.
Yeah, this little group right here around 15, they're racing hard. And I seriously, Tony, think it's too early to be racing this hard.
Yeah, I mean, if you got the speed and the cars, in front of you are slower, you got to push the issue a little bit, because the further you fall back, the harder it's going to be to catch up to that lead group.
Oh, Marshall, a little fishy coming out of the tri-oval. Barkley out there asking for that mega crown.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming. Somebody's going to get in the wall off of turn 4, and everybody behind them is going to not be able to check up in time.
Hastings trying to make something on the high side.
Yeah, I see he just had to get out of the throttle. Otherwise, he was going to hit the outside wall there. new leader, Brandon Banks, was able to get around Brandon Schaefer.
You know, we've been watching that whole battle back there in the back, and you know, almost forgot that we had leaders.
Well, there's some bumper to bumper action up here towards the front. 37 and 61 were on each other's bumper there for a second. 89 and 76, they were pretty close. 38 and the 07, Davey Hendricks and Ed Morris Jr. They're kind of in groups of 2 or 3 right now, it seems like.
Yeah, everybody's trying to somewhat work with their teammate. And you see DVR up there in 1, 2, and 3. You know they're trying to figure out a way to lose north-south of Morris and Hendricks. It looks like it's starting to really settle down somewhat.
Yeah, we're seeing some comers and goers, I think. Seeing people trying to make moves now, some other ones kind of lifting, save tire, or they burned up their tires. But this front pack of, say, I don't know, 6, 7 cars, 8 cars, just staying kind of single file.
What's the chance Barkley gives out a sub and it goes to Joe? Well, right there's what I want to watch, Tony. You got Nidek and Park. They've kind of been a little bumping past few laps.
Yeah, it looks like John's kind of getting loose off the corner and kind of getting a little squirrely there and trying to keep it off of Park, but you know, you send it into the corner a little too hard, get on the throttle a little too early, and that car just kind of wants to step out on you.
You saw Preston got right up on Nidek, had to lift, so Preston's running a pretty fast line, but he just ain't able to capitalize on it just yet.
Well, and I'm curious to see which line is going to be better for the tire wear. Is that top line going to save tire better than the bottom? And if so, how long is it going to take for us to see that?
Nidek got big into the wall and it's opened up a big gap right there. Looks like it's going to be Hornbeck and Wiggins both attempt to get by.
Gary Sack making a run on the 76, able to pass him on the high side. I'm not sure if the 76, what happened there, but it just seemed like, Gary Sack scrapes the wall. It seemed like he lost some momentum there, and Gary just came cruising around him. Not a whole lot of spots changing, you know, 1 or 2 here and there, but no real major movers. I would say Joey Maines is up 7. That kind of looks like the person who's gained the most positions so far, 17 laps into this run.
Yeah, that battle was, my mic cut out for some reason. I was talking the storm up to you.
These guys will have a stage break at lap 70, so 52 laps. I'm not sure what they can run on fuel, but I don't believe it's that many laps.
No, looks like Banks and Schaefer pretty much pulled away, but you got that group of Newbron, Morris, and Hendricks. They're still right there in the hunt. Not not really seeing anybody too close battling. You got Preston putting a little pressure on Cedric.
Looks like the 61 of Emmanuel Forget may have burned up his tires. Seems like he's kind of fallen off the pace a little bit here.
Yeah, and it looks like Park's trying to find a way to get around him. And there he goes.
I'm gonna say, looks like he's got it. He's gonna be able to pass him in the tri-oval here and clear him before he even gets to turn one.
So now Rogers and Regan going to be battling it out.
Yep, Rogers is able to clear him pretty easily on entry of the corner. Should be able to keep that momentum running that higher line. Should be able to pass him no problem. Looks like we might have a battle for the third spot here in a minute.
Yeah, Morris he's starting to put that pressure on Newbra, and he's got, of course, Davey's a little bit out of the draft, but he gets back into it. But you know, turn 3 and 4 right there in the tri-oval it's hard to make a pass in that area.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that Davey's just kind of riding. Long race, don't want to burn up your tires. So he may just be maybe content right where he's at for the moment. It's like Brandon Park is trying to make a move on William Reagan, able to send it into the corner pretty deep, clear him on entry.
Park may have saved up some tires and able to actually do something here.
Well, and I'm seeing him like he's driving it a little differently than some of these other guys. Like Emmanuel, I can see him braking really early, really aggressively. Where Park is just kind of he's letting it roll through the corner. It looks like. I imagine that's going to save quite a bit of tire. Like I can see Emmanuel closing up on these guys' bumpers, but not able to keep up with them as well on exits. So. May just be burned up his tires a little bit. Car's getting tight on exit, and he can't push it the way he wants. Definitely see that 14 carrying some speed. He's already got a 4 or 5 car length gap over the 37.
Yeah, and looking at the looking at the last laps, he's about the fastest one out there.
Yeah, it looks like he's closing up on the back of the Greg Rogers car here pretty quick, so he may be looking to get a couple more in here.
Battle right now is starting to heat up with Sack and Rogers, and here in a couple laps you're going to have Park in the mix, and that's going to be a pretty interesting three-way battle.
Rogers trying to make that low line work. Definitely, I think it'll work better in turn 3 and 4 than it will in 1 and 2. 1 and 2, the outside lane, you can carry a lot of momentum. 3 and 4, they kind of got to check up or they're going to hit the wall. Oh, Chad Wiggins gets into the back of John Neidick. Looks like John might have saved it. My camera switched off of him before I could see him save it completely, but when I saw it there, he was looked like he had it saved. Like Chad just drove it in a lot deeper than John did, and kind of got in the back of him right on entry of the corner and just sent the car down to the inside.
Yeah, and it seems like everybody's pretty much just, spread out fairly decent.
Oh, I see the 49 hit the wall off at turn 2.
Like 7 and 11 battling it out right now.
Gonna have a three-way battle here in a lap or two between the 27, the 83, and the 95. 83 is looking on the low line into turn 3, going to try and get around the 27. But if the 27 can gas it up and get back around him, he's going to pull the 95 with him.
Yeah, they're going to have to work together. I mean, Van Gore is...
Oh, he's sent it into turn 1. Looks like he's going to be able to clear that 27 car. 27's going to fall in line and stop the bleeding, prevent that 95 from making the move to the inside as well. Ooh, John Neidick. Oh, that's a big one. John Neidick, Josh Van Gore. Almost looked like John Neidick was going into pits and maybe did not call it.
I think I'll wind back and see what exactly happened there.
Well, I saw the 33 slow down quite a bit and looked like he either got loose or was trying to turn down into pits, and
I think he
83
got
was
loose.
there. Kind of sent them both into the barrels.
And Jordan Miles, innocent bystander.
Yeah, that's probably going to take at least 3 cars out. I would be curious to see what that cockpit view looks like from John Neidick, to see if he was slowing down to go in the pits or if he just got loose.
We can make that happen. No.
Yeah. Almost looks like he got loose.
Go back to full and be able to hear the... Oof. Rough break. I think that's pretty much going to end his night.
Yeah, I think that's going to end all 3 of those.
Looks like Banks was able to beat Schaefer off pit road, and Hughes decided to stay out.
That is going to make things interesting. during the pit stop, looks like Davey Hendricks was able to leapfrog the 07 and the 6 cars of Ed Morris Jr. and Michael Newbra. So it looks like he gained 2 spots in the pits. Doesn't look like a whole lot of other cars were able to gain any positions, but looks like Davey Hendricks was the benefiter of that pit stop. Beneficiary, that's the word I'm looking for.
That wasn't the mega crown we was looking for, but that was a pretty hard lick for all 3 of them, actually.
Yeah, that's a tough one for all 3 cars involved, especially Jordan Miles, kind of that innocent bystander, nowhere to go. Lights are off on the pace truck, and we are going to be going green next time by.
Well, we got 36 in the book, Tony.
Yeah, Brandon Schaefer chose that outside lane. This series we do run the restart zone, so that is definitely gonna benefit him and possibly the 07 of Ed Morris Jr. All right, so they had 4 additional sets of tires. I believe that pretty much everybody used 1 set of tires here at lap, 36? So that's 1 set down with 140 laps to go. Schaefer able to clear and take the point, clears the 54 car. Davey Hendricks able to make that bottom line work and maintain his 3rd place position here. 42 looking underneath the 07 for 4th. We'll see who gets the position on the exit of the corner. Uh-oh. Brandon Schaefer blinking. '07 loses a position to that 28 car, Greg Rogers. I'm curious if the '07 took tires there or if he just did fuel only, because he started off in 4th on the restart. He's fallen back to 6th, now 7th. Not carrying the same speed as a lot of these guys. Chad Wiggins into the back of the 89. 89 able to gather it up. It looked like Chad thought about sending it 3 wide there, and by the time he thought better of it, it was a little too late.
Yeah, and it's a nice little 3-way battle.
We got the 42 out front. It looks like maybe some of these other cars didn't take tires that I thought maybe did. 42 able to pass.
Oh, Wiggins.
Uh-oh.
We got Wiggins. We got Marshall and Forns. All 3 involved.
like the 17 of Chad Wiggins. He had the 95 on his bumper going in the corner. Had to check up. 95 kind of. Oh, I see what happened. 89 got in the wall. Chad went to go low to avoid it, and the 19 was there. Yeah, Forns took a pretty heavy hit to that inside wall coming out of pits. I imagine that's probably the end of it for him. North-south doing north-south stuff, Justin.
And Forns was one of those that was just an innocent bystander.
Yeah, I think he tried to check up. Maybe he had a little too much speed, so he sent it down through the infield and trying to avoid those guys, and ended up hitting that looked like it's the safer barrier sitting right on the exit of pit road.
Concrete wall. Well, at least he kept it off the track.
That he definitely was, Barkley. Wanted to make sure he didn't take anybody else out in that.
Run into the water barrel.
Yep. Bumper goes off. I imagine his right front tire steering probably got some damage there.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be a good night for him.
Good thing for him is he is not running for points, so. So we had a short little 5-lap run there. We're going to rack them up and do it again. I assume that the 42 took tires, the 37, the 28. I'm not sure about the 3 and the 54. They kind of started in the lead on that restart, and they've fallen back to 4th, 5th. So either they're saving tires or they didn't take them that last pit stop, and maybe they're just holding out till the end of the stage. The stage break will be at lap 70 with points on the table for the top 7 positions. So maybe they're playing a long game here and trying to save that extra set of tires. As I'm looking at the 3 car right now, he's got a pretty nice paint scheme. I saw something about the veterans on there.
Oh, it's definitely going to carry over into Wednesday. Well, 43 in the books, 2 cautions.
I think Barkley already knows that me and him are going to wreck each other on Wednesday anyways, so just kind of the way it plays out seems like at Charlotte.
Well, Dakota and Regan, they was able to get ahead of Schaefer and Banks. Rogers too, and it looks like Schaefer may have just took a little bit of fuel.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Schaefer, Banks, I imagine they both did not take tires there, just based off of the cars were able to get around them. So I got to think that the top 3 here took tires, and I'm not sure about Davey Hendricks or any of those guys what they did. I assume they did not as well, but hard to say.
It looks like everybody's pit time was around the 40 to 44 seconds, except for Schaefer. So,
yeah, maybe I'll go back and take a peek.
But second caution for Kyle's 44 laps in the books, not too shabby, especially the transition from day to dark.
Yeah, it looks like Schaefer was definitely fuel only. Same with Banks. Same with Ed Morris. Yeah, I think several of them were fuel only, and they're going to pay the price for that for the stage finish. But we'll see how it plays out at the end. It might be a race-winning move here.
Very well. That extra set of tires could come into handy at late caution.
Just saw the 3-car blink again. I'm just curious what his internet's looking like.
There they go. Let's see how this is going to play out.
Looks like the 42 was able to clear for the lead, and take the lead here. We'll see how these guys on that did not take tires, see how they fare if we get a long run here. Definitely could get spicy here with cars on fresh tires and cars on old tires.
There'll be a little bit of a hiccup battle going on about Banks, Hendricks, Park, Cedric in the mix.
Like Park has got fresh tires, the way he's able to hook that bottom line and accelerate out. He gained quite a bit of time on the 54, so I have to assume he took tires there. I imagine he'll make short work of the 54 and then try to get around the 3-car. Kind of single filed out, probably back to about 15th place. Joey Main's making a move on what is the 36 on screen, but it's actually, oh, it is the 36. Yep, Mike Simone able to rip around him on the high lane.
Riggs is going around Newbron. Morris looks like he may have got a little loose, had to slow down.
Well, that's kind of a risky spot. Running that high lane on fresh tires, because those cars on the inside lane, if they're on old tires, they're going to get really tight off the corner. So you're kind of putting yourself in kind of a risky spot to get pushed into the wall.
Talk about risky. This little group right here.
Ooh,
about
14
seventh.
big wiggle.
Yeah, it's from about 7th and back all the way to Hendricks. That little group right there is running pretty close.
Yeah, I think we got a mix of old tires and new tires in here, and they just kind of they hit a bottleneck. They can't get around the 3 and the 54, so they're just trying to not kill each other and make the moves as they can. We see I believe that's the 30 car able to get around the 54. Brandon Park is going to try and follow, but looks like he's going to have to check up a little bit. The 54 running a little higher line, kind of slides up into that midline on exit.
Manuel had to get on the brakes. He's having to ease off right there with that 54.
Yeah, I think Brandon Park is the one who's having the most problems getting around these cars on old tires. I assume he took fresh tires, but I'm not 100% certain on that. Finally, he's able to make his way around the 54. Like old red stick Mike Simone is pulling down to the apron. He may be calling it a night. Ooh, big checkup, 84, 6, 19. 84 had to check up for the 6 car. 19 got in the back of him a little bit, but they're able to keep it straight and keep it rolling.
Ooh. Newbraw has dropped way back. I don't think he's benefiting off that pit stop.
Well, I think the DBR guys are kind of all on the same strategy where none of them took tires. I think they all just took fuel. So right now they're getting passed by everybody on new tires.
Dakota's opened the door up, and he's got a pretty good lead off of Rogers.
Well, lap 54, stages in 16 laps. Looks like he'll probably, unless we get a caution, we'll probably get those 7 bonus points, but he's going to pay the price in the long run by using that set of tires versus these guys who did not take tires. Like Ed Morris Jr. has fallen all the way back to, I believe, 13th. Staying out on those older tires.
And Mike Hornbeck trying to make a move right now inside Hendricks.
Oh, 3-car got sideways. He was side by side with the 12-car Cody Riggs, and I'm not sure if they got together or if they just if he just turned it down off of him. But I believe Brandon Schaefer, that 3-car is the front running car of the cars who did not take tires. And currently he looks like he is in 9th or 10th.
I think it was not, but I think he's moved down to 10th now. But there he is, right there, coming on, charging up. Preston's up to 11th.
I believe that's his dad right in front of him there in the 84, is it not?
That is, and Hornbeck gave Schaefer a little bit of a bump almost going into turn 4.
Well, and these guys on old tires, they gotta check up a lot earlier for the corner. The guys on new tires, if they don't, quite realize that they're on older tires, it could definitely cause some spiciness here. But Preston trying to get around him there, but Schaefer is not making it easy on him. Kind of running that mid-line, not really giving room for the 49 to get underneath him. Looked like he had to go down and actually had his left side tires on the apron.
Yeah, he touched that apron. I think his dad's giving him a little push right there.
He says, "Go on, son, I'll follow you through."
You got Ricky Williams taking a position away from Hendricks.
Yeah, looks like Ricky Williams is on fresh tires, just making his way around the 38. Probably going to try and click off a few more before this stage ends. So the leading car on old tires is currently in, I believe, I want to say 12th, maybe 11th.
And we're talking about Schaefer. He's
Yep.
Running in 11th.
I mean, Dakota Orndorff is kind of checked out. Greg Rogers running in second. He's got a huge gap between third place. Real battle right now is kind of third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. 2 separate battles. 37 of William Reagan, and I believe that is the 30 car.
Manuel
Cedric.
and Joey Brandon.
Yep. You can really see the difference between the old tires and the new tires, especially at a track like Charlotte.
Yeah.
This 37 is able to get around the 30 car. I mean, these guys that didn't take tires, we're talking 8 seconds behind the leader, probably almost 9 now. That's how far off how far they fell in 10, 15 laps. Some of these guys may potentially get lapped before the stage.
Yeah, at the rate they're moving, it's a very good possibility. As the last car on the lead laps coming into backstretch as the leaders are coming into turn one, so they're closing that gap on them.
Absolutely. I don't know what the lap times are, but I bet you it's a significant difference.
Yeah, it's like on the last lap, your leader Dakota was running 32.42, and Vincent was running a 32.76.
So 3 to 4 tenths a lap. I'm actually surprised that it's not more of a gap. But like we said earlier, these guys that took tires, they're down a set to the guys who did not. So these guys have 3 sets of tires left to go 105 laps. Can they do it? Probably, but the strategy is going to be, if we go caution free, probably not a big deal. But if we get a string of cautions, it's going to be tough to keep up with those guys who have that extra set of tires.
Yeah, and that right there may have been the strategy move they needed, towards the end.
Yeah, definitely could be a race-winning move, but I think I think at that point you almost got to rely on cautions because we're going to have one more guaranteed caution in 4 laps. But if we go 100 lap green flag run, that extra set of tires you have is not really going to help you unless you get a caution, because if you go in and take them under green, you're going to end up at least a lap down. So it's a good strategy move, but it definitely requires a caution to make it work for you.
Just see, Emmanuel was able to get around Cedric, and he brought Park with him.
Yep, that's Park moving up to P5. Cedric falling to 6, and Joey Maines is sitting in that 7th position, the last stage point.
There's a pretty good gap between 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I think he's pretty content, or pretty safe at least getting 1 stage point. I'm sure he would like to get 2 or 3 here. I just don't see him being able to make the passes in 3 laps. Not unless somebody makes a mistake. So I will say I really like the strategy of not taking tires at that caution, because at this point I think everybody's got to take tires at this stage. If you don't, then you are going to end up a lap down, unless we get a caution 30 laps in or something like that. But if it goes green, these guys are going to come flying around you. So I like the move. I think the safer move was to not take tires until the stage, as we see, Brandon Schaefer, Brandon Banks, Davey Hendrick, Ed Morris Jr. I think that's the safest. Where these guys that did take tires, I think that's a pretty risky move at this point. Worst case scenario for these guys who didn't take tires is that they go in a stage and they're sitting 15th instead of, up at the front. But that's something you can recover from. If these guys who did take tires end up a set, if we get a few cautions later in this, run to the end, and you're a set of tires behind, that will be detrimental to your race. You will go from a top 5 car to maybe a 20th car. stage complete, and our stage winner, Dakota Orndorff. He's going to earn 7 bonus points. Greg Rogers will get 6 bonus points. William Reagan 5, Emmanuel Forget 4, Brandon Parks 3, Cedric will get 2, and Joey Maines will get that last remaining bonus point.
Now, Matt, I think it's kind of poetic justice. Water barrels. But do you think anybody's going to be willing to stay out?
No, I don't think anybody can stay out here. For one, fuel. You have to come get fuel. Everybody here is going to be on even tires. I don't think you can risk not taking tires here. I think you have to take them. So, in reality, the guys that didn't take tires, 42 did not take tires. I don't think the 28 or the 37 took tires. They are going to get freight trained.
Dakota was running a 15-second pit stop.
Yeah, but I see them pull out so early. I don't know. Maybe they did. I was looking more at like the guys who did not take tires before, but man, I hope they did. Otherwise, it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna end well. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go back and look. Oh yeah, 42 took tires. $28 took tires. 37 took tires. Yep, they took tires. Okay. But now they have to run 100 laps with 2 sets of tires. And the most they ran was about 30 to 35.
Let's see if we can, real quick, yank Orndorff up here and track him down. I don't see him out there. Not see him in Discord, so I guess he ain't gonna get his moment in the sun.
He's in the Shenandoah Valley Racing team channel with Greg Rogers and Jordan Miles.
I'm not seeing that.
I got you. Now you can see it.
Now I see him. See if we can get him up here real quick. Pick his brain for a minute. Dakota, congratulations on that stage win. You've kind of pulled away from him.
Yeah, it turned out to be all right there at the end. We got tires, and Greg did me a little favor by racing pretty hard back there for second and third, so worked out in our favor for once. So we'll see how it goes the rest of the way.
Speaking of the rest of the way, what's the plan? You're down a set of tires to some of these other guys. Do you think you can hang with them if we do get a couple cautions in this long run?
If we get a couple early cautions, I think we'll be all right. But late caution kind of dooms us. So hopefully it goes long on the last stint, and we'll be all right.
Praying for that green flag run. I agree.
Yes, sir.
My brother, we're gonna shoot you back down there as y'all get ready. As those lights are off. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of racing to do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long one. So hopefully it stays clean and have some more fun.
Well, good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see what happens at the end.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I think he said it perfectly. If they get a late race caution, they're gonna be hurting. If it goes green to the end, I think they'll be all right. But like 3 cautions in this run, if they're kind of staggered, they're gonna be hurting.
What do you think the chances of a straight green run, 101 laps?
Well, I mean, this Xfinity series has been pretty clean, so it's possible. But we haven't had a lot of cars wreck out either. So different strategies, different tires. They're going to be even right now, but if we get into green flag pit stops, that's I think where you're going to see it.
What a jump! Rogers launched out.
That restart zone definitely helps the leader out significantly. Able to get a good launch and start clearing, get the not run side by side into turn one. Brandon Park is making moves top to bottom to get around the 61. Is he going to be able to clear? It's going to be close.
You got to think too. These guys are on some fresh tires and they're racing hard, especially right there in four. You can see Schaefer sliding it from the bottom to the top right in front of Morris. So that was risky.
Yeah, but I also think that may be where, the race win is going to come from, is those guys that have the extra set of tires. Brandon Banks is kind of the lead dog in that group, but these guys are kind of on their own little race here.
About the time I said that about Schaefer making a move, Preston made a wild move from the high side down.
Yeah, they're on those fresh tires. It definitely makes them feel like Superman, especially running 70 laps on a set of tires. They get those fresh tires underneath them, and they can definitely make some moves.
Looks like Morris and Hendricks are opting to stay on the outside. As Preston's kind of stuck right now behind Emmanuel.
Well, I think that outside lane is a pretty good defensive lane. You can kind of keep the momentum up and force the guys on the bottom lane to use a little bit more tire. It's going to benefit you in the long run. You may give up some spots early on, but in the long run, I think it's definitely going to help. Matt made that comment in the chat about iRacing starting a petition to remove the barrels. I think they should make it so the barrels explode and fills the track with dirt.
That would be realistic.
I don't remember what race that was, but man, they spent a long time cleaning that up. All right, so we see the 54 and the 3. They're on fresh tires. The 54 is able to move all the way up to third, and the 3's sitting there in fifth, looking to make a move. Oh, wrecking behind him. Preston's in it. Looked like the 76.
Oh, we got
Tony.
a few in that one. Riggs possibly involved. Sylvia and Jason. Hughes. Let's take it back and see, Tony. That's what we was just talking about.
Yeah, but I think this one's just a little too early for anybody to do anything.
Oh, it looks like Hendrick may have gotten to the wall. Well, and the 76. Looks like he may have came up just a tad. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Yeah, 76 or 38 definitely got into the wall. I think that just caused a reaction behind him. 76 came up a little bit, and the 49 was there. Riggs, I don't know if Riggs got any contact from that. I seen him slide down pit road. I know he got a black flag, which they cleared, but I don't know if he hit anything. Doesn't look like he did, so he'll be all right.
Well, he got a little bump in the back.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I don't even see any damage on the back, to be honest.
Hastings got into him, and ooh, Hastings. Wiggins once again involved. No, that was Newbraw.
Yeah, I think Wiggins is actually out of the race.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt a few of them.
Yeah, it just looked like, I don't know if the 76 put the 49 into the wall or just pinched him up there and he didn't have a choice but to I don't know. It just seemed like ran out of real estate. Let's call it that.
Yep, Netco don't give too much real estate anyway.
But I mean, they're 11 laps into this run. Call it 8 green flag laps. I don't think we're going to see anybody come down pit road here. I think everybody's going to stay out, except for damaged cars. 49 is going to go in and get some damage fixed, looks like. I did see the right side of that car was pretty scraped up. But that's going to close this field up and give the 54 and the 3, close that gap to allow them to kind of battle, try and get back up to the lead. Not sure what the 3 is doing here, but looks like he might be saving fuel. But if he gets too far ahead, he's going to get a black flag.
That's what threw me off when you said not many pit. There's about 3 or 4 of them that was down there on that apron.
I think they're saving fuel. It must be close to a fuel window they're looking at, just in case they don't get cautions later on. But you really got to be careful when you're doing this, because if you cross the start-finish line and you're ahead of the car that you're supposed to be behind, you will get a black flag for passing under yellow.
That will not get cleared.
No. So I'm looking at the 3's paint job, and he's running the in honor of our veterans paint scheme there, right on the hood. Preston Hornbeck's got a lot of damage to that right front fender.
That's actually a sharp car, too.
That is, definitely. Greg Rogers is sporting a flag, American flag type paint scheme. The 6 of Michael Newbraw, he's on pit road, but he's also got a pretty sharp paint scheme with the American flag on it, right on the hood. Joey Maines, another one sporting that American flag paint scheme. And of course, Cody Riggs got that Allegiance flag supply. Kind of fitting that it's a flag company sporting the American flag paint scheme.
No better way to have it than right there. Well, you know, Matt, I kind of feel the same way about barrels. So I can hear
Matt
him
really
now.
likes those barrels.
Yeah, I think the favor got returned.
I mean, it could be worse. Could be like Mark Martin when he spun out going down pit road and about cut the car in half.
Yeah. Oh, Schaefer's going to the inside of Park.
Yeah, Park kind of got stuck in a DBR sandwich there with Brandon Bakes in front of him and Brandon Schaefer behind him. Brandon Schaefer gonna send it in on the low line, but his teammate kind of stalled his momentum out a little bit there, it seemed like. It's like Cody Kinsey is continuing to have internet issues. He's blinking a little bit. Looks like it's cleaning up now, but nope, blinking again.
It seems to be worse during the restarts.
Yeah, when they're all bunched up, that's typically where you're going to see it the worst. 54 looking underneath the 37. Don't think they'll be able to clear in here, but 37 scrapes the wall. The 14 just slid down in front of the 07. That was kind of a risky move.
Banks is on the move.
Oh, 07 looking underneath the 14 as they go into turn 3. 14 lifts and lets him have it. Ooh, 14's going to try and rally back on the outside, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it. And now the 38's going to try and make a move. He's able to clear the 14.
Schaefer's making that high side work going around Dakota.
I think he's just going where the other cars aren't. He's going low, he's going high. I have a feeling that a couple laps we're going to have the 54 and the 3 in first and second.
38 and 14 to put on a nice battle right now.
Yeah, it seems like Davey Hendricks in the 38s, he's trying to clear that 14, but the 14 is getting a pretty good exit and able to kind of keep him there. He's finally able to clear him. Now he's going to try and follow the 07 past the 37. As the 54 looks to make a move for first place underneath Greg Rogers.
Yeah, Schaefer, I think, is starting to get a little impatient.
Well, I think Schaefer just wants to be on the bumper that 54, so when he does get past the 28, the 3 can follow him through there and pass him as well. But they're kind of bottlenecked because of this battle right now. They're kind of on top of each other. 54 makes the pass, but the 38 was not able to follow him through yet. Gonna try it here. Got a fender on him. We'll see if 28's able to. No, the 3's gaining. As the 3 blinks out, but he's back, and now he's gonna actually take the advantage into turn 1. And he's able to clear. I think the next one we're going to see up there is that 07 car. He's looking like he's faster than the 42 right now. The 28 goes really high in that corner. That costed him quite a bit of time. The 42 able to gain a lot of ground.
Vaughn got a little loose going through the tri-oval. Lose about 2 positions.
I'll tell you what, though, that 84 car, Mike Hornbeck, he is all over the 14 car's bumper through the center of the corner. He is driving it in really deep, but the 14 is able to get the drive off. Somebody just disappeared. The 2 car again, Cody Kinsey. Looks like about the top 10, top 11 are kind of all in one pack, and then it kind of staggers off into smaller groups all the way back through the field.
Yeah, you've got a couple spots battling out, but, you know, nothing really heavy.
3 car able to get around the 54, take the lead. 54 is going to try and cross him over here. He's got the run off the corner. They're side by side going into turn 3. Dakota Orndorff trying to make the same move on Greg Rogers. They both are able to clear for position. Schaefer crossing over the 54 again as they come up on Preston Hornbeck. Preston's going to go to the bottom. Oh, he washed up the track. Parts come flying off his car. Greg Rogers into the wall.
Not what we wanted to see.
that was kind of looked like the 49 just couldn't hold the bottom and washed up into the track. And ooh, that's a big pile of cars there.
Oh, yeah. That was not what a few of them was wanting.
But we are almost 30 laps into a run. These guys with that extra set of tires may choose to pit here. It looked like the 49 just washed up the track just a little bit, and the 3 was not able to get around him. Kind of what caused that whole
Kick the boodle.
wreck, that whole parking lot.
Yeah, it looked like Dakota. He slowed down, and
Yeah, so if you back up your replay just a little bit, you're going to see the 49 kind of go, not able to hook the bottom, wash up to the middle of the track, and the 3 was coming with a run and clipped him in the right rear. That's kind of what I saw. I haven't watched the replay, though. That was just what I saw live.
he did come up. I will say that. But Schaefer really didn't have anywhere to go.
No, he was coming with all that momentum, and when the 49 washed up the track, it just kind of, Schaefer tried to avoid him, but he had so much speed. He if he would have went any higher, he would have been in the wall.
Which the
I
49 was
think,
trying to. Looks like he was trying to go low in the 42.
well, and that 49 car, his right front fender's damaged. His car is probably pushing like a dump truck. Probably nothing he could really do there. He was trying to stay out of the way, but the car wouldn't let him, and that's the result.
They started spinning back towards 3. You can see Newbra and Vaughn. I think they had their own little incident going back there, and that just collected
Greg
mains.
Rogers.
Yeah.
Greg Rogers got clobbered by Joey Maines.
And Ed Morris. Greg Rogers had a few tangled up with them.
Yeah, that's a lot of cars that were no part in that whole thing and just kind of got caught up in it. Unfortunate for them, but what can you do? It's like maybe some of them saw it happening in front of them and started checking up, and the ones behind them didn't. I think that's what you see right there with the 6th and I believe
26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 6 saw it happening, checked up, but the 26 couldn't see it and got into the back of him.
I'm pretty sure communications are pretty festive right now.
Yeah, I imagine so. I'm sure people are going to be a little upset with that, but I mean, until you go back and watch the replay, you don't really know what happened. We have the ability to see it live and see it from a different point of view, but those guys are looking out their windshield, so they see what they think they saw, but until they actually go back and watch the replay, it's really hard to fault anybody there. And we did see some cars take tires there. Looks like the 54 came in for tires. The 3 maybe came in for tires. All those guys that had that extra set of tires, looks like they may have came down pit road to get a set here. Which means that they've got, 6, 7 cars to pass before they're back in the lead, so they'll probably be in a hurry to get back out front.
Yeah, especially that lucky dog position too. You may have to put Xfinity chat on slow mode after this race.
Yeah, there's. I imagine it's going to be pretty spicy.
I'm gonna tell you one that I think suffered the most on that on his run, and that's gonna be Morris Jr.
Well, and Greg Rogers. I mean, he
Yeah,
took a
Rogers.
lick.
Rogers.
He was running up front pretty much. You know, after that split pit strategy there, and now I'm pretty sure he's about done for the night. He may get out there and run some laps, but it won't be competitive.
Run it for points.
Minimize the bleeding. But we're gonna rack him up here. Do it again.
It's gonna be interesting to see how Dakota's gonna be handling that front pack, considering the damage he had. Oh, check up. There it is.
19 got in the back of the 84. Big Rex. 14's in it. The 2, I think the 3 was in there. Looks like the 54 was able to get through it.
Hastings just stops on track. He's waiting.
I mean, he don't want to get any more damage.
Well, Tony, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and I think cautions are in heat right now.
Well, and looking what happened, it looked like the 19 just looked like he got in the back of the 84 and just spun him.
I don't think 42 got the jump he wanted.
Well, he's the control car, though, so he can go whenever he wants. Look, the 19 is just rolling up and launched early. You can see it. He run right in the back of the 84, caused that whole thing. Got to have a little more patience than that on a restart. Took out a lot of good cars.
Oh, yeah. He bumped him, and there wasn't nothing Hornbeck could do but ride it out.
Yeah. Got a little antsy, it looked like, and wrecked several cars. Schaefer. Oh, he did get hit. Yep.
Hendricks and Park kind of got into each other.
Yeah, that's just. I don't think they really did anything, though. But then Hendricks got hit again by the 19.
I'm curious to see Hastings here. I mean, he's not. Oh yeah, he rear-ended completely. I thought he may have stopped on track.
Hell yeah, you see the hood fly up.
Yeah.
Well, that is definitely going to shake things up. Most of our front-running cars were caught up in that, at least in some way, shape, or form. I think the 54 got the least of the damage.
So you say Hendricks got hit?
He got into it twice. He got into the 54, but then he got hit again. It looked like maybe in the right rear. I think the 19 got him right in the tri-oval. Yep, right there.
Patience, and that's something that we hear Rafferty all the time talk about. It's patience, patience, patience.
Oh, I don't think the 38 did get hit again. So whatever he's got is just on that left side when him and Banks kind of touched doors. So they both may be in pretty decent shape. The 07 already had damage from the wreck before. So I think that's probably going to minimize his chances. So we may have somebody we didn't expect up here really shortly.
My two picks are pretty much done for.
Looking at the back end of the 38, and it's pretty mangled. Front end looks good, so maybe it'll still handle somewhat decent, but the back end of that is pretty rough. Go look at the 54 real quick. 54 has a little bit of damage on the right front fender. He's got enough speed where I don't think that's really going to take him out of contention for the win. I don't see it affecting him too terribly bad.
I'm bound and determined to see how Morris Hendrick. I mean, Morris has been caught up. He was caught up and Rogers was took out.
I think Morris's car is not driving. Oh, maybe it just looked a little goofy in the corner, but it almost looked like the back end wasn't straight with the front end. Looking at his car, it doesn't look too terrible. Got some scrapes on the right side, but I don't see much fender damage. So he may still be in contention here, as long as that car is driving straight.
Ubra is able to get back up to 7th. Thought of his misfortunate events.
I did not get a look at the 3 car. Back end is, oh yeah, he's got a gap between the trunk lid.
Oh yeah.
That I can't imagine that. I mean, the front end looks really good, but I imagine that's gonna slow that car down. Probably make it pretty tight in the corners, I would think, having that extra drag on it.
You know, a lot of these cars, the rear end of them is completely beat down.
But you know whose car is looking really good? Is that 42 car sitting in the lead. I don't see any damage on that car.
Yeah, he's had him some close calls, but he's looking pretty clean. See if he can freight train it on up to the lead, or hold the lead.
I'd be curious to see how the 30, the 3, the 38, how these guys, you know, the 07, see how these guys are able to run with that damage. I think the 3 is going to be the one that is affected the most with that rear wing sticking so far up in the air.
And Kenzie, he's snuck up to 5th right now. I mean, his disappearing act is working in his favor.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the next wreck he'll just blink and come out on the other side of it.
Let's see how this restart's going to play out.
I think they learned their lesson. They're going to be pretty clean here. 27 was in the wrong gear, it looks like. Same with the 6.
That whole inside line checked up.
I think they were in like 3rd or 4th gear, though, as slow as they were. That both of those cars looked like they were in the wrong gear.
Schaefer apparently, oh yeah, he's fighting it. He's got speed, but his entrance is not what he wants it to be.
Yeah, I think the 54 will get around him and gap him here pretty quick. Like even running that cut down line, he didn't really gain much time on the 54 running that line, and that line is super aggressive on your tires.
Well, 105 in the book, Tony.
Yep, only 70 to go.
Kenzie looking to make the move. Orndorff is stuck up high.
Kinsey almost got in the wall there. It looked like he was kind of almost clipped it with the right rear. It was close.
Big Braw's fighting back through the crowd.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see one car in one of the lines, you know, be in the wrong gear, but one car in each line, that really allowed these front guys to just drive away and really checked up everybody behind them. 12 car looking pretty aggressive here. He's going to make a move on the 27. Looks like that little bit of damage he got's not really affecting that car.
No, and we got Newbra who's got Preston out there on the outside. But I'm gonna tell you what, for his car to be clean, Orndorff is not making the move.
Well, the guys in front of him took tires 2 cautions ago, I believe it was. 3 cautions ago. So he's still running on that same set from the stage, I believe. So if
Yep.
they get another caution, we'll see him dip down and get fresh tires.
Yeah, he's the oldest one running right now on tires at lap 71. So it's
Ed
expected.
Morris making a move. He sent it. Oh, Brandon Schaefer is going to pinch him. Saw Ed get sideways and end up on the apron. That really hurt his pace there. We'll see if he's able to battle back. I'm pretty sure he did not like that move. That was kind of a very, very tight pinch that Schaefer gave him. Davey Hendrick's going to try and send it on the low side. Schaefer's going to try the same move again. Almost leaning on him. Did the same thing.
Oh, and Schaefer's blinking. Right underneath Hendricks, pretty much picking up his bumper.
I can tell you that that's not going to end well for probably both of these guys here pretty quick.
No, and these two teams, they race hard with each other too. Respectful and hard.
I don't know. Pinching a guy down that tight is not very respectful.
You can send it anywhere.
I mean, if a guy's got the speed to send it into the corner and able to hold his line, I mean.
And here's Morris's back in move. It's gonna be interesting if there's any retribution.
Got a little battle back here, yeah. 49 and the 89, the 12 and the 2 all battling back here. 89 is able to make the pass. It's like the 49.
Schaefer's blocking. Schaefer is blocking. Just wondering how much longer Morris is going to be patient.
Almost 3 wide back here for about, oh, what is that, 9th?
Riggs shooting on the inside of Kinsey.
Yeah, we had 3 of them, almost 3 wide through the corner. See the 28 car coming back out on track here. Got some of that damage fixed up, and he's going to rejoin the race. Try to stay out of everybody's way. Ed Morris making that move underneath Brandon Schaefer again. Gonna clear him before turn 1. Looks like he's able to make the pass.
I think Morris is.
Schaefer gets in the back of Morris. Morris is able to settle it down and keep it going straight. Davey Hendricks is gonna come around as well, and looks like the 6 maybe be able to make the pass as well.
And you got another DBR coming into the mix now, so. This actually ain't too bad. But we're glad you're out there to watch and have some laughs with us.
You know, the 54 had the least damage out of this group, so I'm not surprised to see him out in front. I am curious to see if these other cars are able to keep pace with him or if he just drives away. Like the 07 is able to maintain. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to catch him.
Well, it looks like they've settled down a little bit up there towards the front. So we're going to take a look back towards the back. Any real hot battles you see going on back there, Tony?
Let me check. I mean, I got mine on most exciting, and it's sitting in this 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th spot.
Yeah, it's pretty much where mine's staying at every time I go to it.
You know, William Reagan's able to catch this pack, and looks like he's might have the pace to get around these three.
Gary Sack's sitting there lurking.
Yeah, just kind of running his race.
Oh yeah, Banks is pretty much just opened it away. He's on cloud 9 after last week. Schaefer and Regan getting into each other a little bit. I know Tactical, he ain't in the mix. He's just doing his thing and leading.
Schaefer is blinking again pretty bad. Looks like it's settled down now. Gary Sack able to get around him.
Well, Schaefer may have burned his tires up fighting with Morris.
Well, with that wing all the way up, I'm sure he was abusing his tires to keep pace. So this may be the result of that. Six cars taking a look underneath the 38. Going to try and get underneath him here in turn 3.
Hendrick's making a hold, trying to hold off on that P3.
Yeah, it looked like the 6 just wasn't able to wrap the bottom as well as he wanted. Maybe he had to check up a little bit.
Regan almost got into Newbrough.
It's like that 07 is starting to cut into some of that gap that Brandon Banks has. Looks like it's down to about a half a second maybe.
Tony Cavette's trying to put pressure on Cody Riggs, but their cars been beat up. Yeah, it keeps jumping back. And Morris has got him down to a half a second. Ooh, Morris just into the wall, and that's may cost him a little bit.
And this pack back here we've been watching, they just passed Greg Rogers right in the tri-oval there. Luckily it wasn't in the corner. They were able to make quick work of that and not really affect their lap time.
Hendricks has got the finger up there, door to door, going down the back stretch. Sack's trying to make a move. He's trying to get amongst this. He's coming off cloud 9 after that game last night Detroit put out.
His car is looking pretty clean. I really don't see any damage on it. I don't recall him getting into any of those wrecks. Gets in the back of the 3 there twice. 3 able to keep it straight and maintain the position.
Schaefer's trying to hold them all at bay.
Allowed the 30s. Oh, sacking the wall a little bit there. Allowed the 37 to catch back up to this pack here.
Hendrick shot it way down trying to avoid that. It's hard when you get to the wall. You never know what that car is going to do. Is it going to stick or is it just going to shoot down right in front of you?
Well, and we saw the 89 get a little squirrely after hitting that, so it was very possible that he was going to overcorrect it and send it either low or high. So probably a wise move. Just get out of the way just in case.
To the rest of the field, everybody's pretty much just simmered out and single filed out.
89 able to make the move, but a 3 gave him a little payback, getting back in the back bumper there. 37's trying to make it work on the high line.
Joe Morris is staying right about where he's been. Oh, Schaefer into the wall. It's going to allow Zach to get around him, and well, I think he's got some clean air. He might be all right now.
Yeah, Zach moving up to 3rd.
Probably glad to be away from that hornet's nest behind him.
Well, and I got to think these guys are going to have to stop at least once. 43 laps to go. They gotta. I gotta think they gotta come get fuel. When are they gonna do that? Well, I mean, could see it any time now.
And you know, all this battling that's been going on, that's allowed Vincent Vaughn to close the gap on him. He's sitting right back there with them, and Tony Cavett and Cody Riggs are starting to join in the party. And these guys' tires are starting to take a toll. I mean, they're all around 40 lap tires, 40 to 50 right now. Banks and Morris, they pretty much just checked out. I mean, they got a 5-second lead over the rest of the field, so I think they're pretty good as of right now until we start green flag pit stops.
Yeah, it looks like Morris isn't. He was able to gain a little bit. No major time on the 54, but then just kind of stabilized right at about that 0.6 of a second mark, kind of fluctuating between 6 and 0.7. So it doesn't look like he's able to reel in the 54. If he's going to have a chance at it, I think he's going to have to try and short pit and hope the caution doesn't come out.
I believe Orndorff just pitted not too long ago. He's a lap down, but first car on the lead, or first car lap down.
So he may be using that short pit strategy. I have a feeling that we're going to see the leaders come in pretty quick. I see a couple of them miking up in session here. I assume it's calling out pit roads. See the 6 going down. He's going to go get fresh tires and fuel.
Zach Regan, Morris Banks, Vaughn, and Dakota Orndorff lap down. He's looking to get it back the hard way.
Well, and right behind Dakota, I see a little pack here. 3 called out that he's pitting. I believe that's the 26 of Vincent. Cody Riggs is in that mix. 76 is, well, looks like Cody Riggs just pitted. 54 is coming in this time by. So I think we're going to see a mass green flag pit stop here in the next few laps, aside from, say, the 42.
There's where Banks is coming in right now, so Morris is going to stay out with them. 35 to go this time by. It may come down to a fuel strategy. So it sounds like Morris is getting off pretty early.
Yeah, I'm not sure when his last pit stop was, but I can't imagine he can go all the way
Lap
on fuel.
100.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you can run 75 laps on fuel.
And
So
here he comes in.
Yeah.
Let's say you ain't no Chad Wiggins.
Oh, 89 into the wall. Coming off of turn 4. It's going to allow the 37 to pull up to his bumper and more than likely make the pass.
He went up on him a little and slowed down the momentum.
89 was able to keep it, but the 42 is going to try and get his lap back. Eight cars on the lead lap right now. About to be 9 when the 42 gets around the 89. 37 coming down pit road.
Dakota got it back the hard way. He fought for it.
But seeing where he's not at on track versus the 54, I don't think this is going to be a net gain for him. '54 got around him, and he's on fresher tires, so he's just going to drive away from him.
Sachs coming into the pits.
Looks like the 07 of Ed Morris lost. Well, he fell to about 2.5 seconds behind the 54. So staying out on those tires definitely did not help close that gap. It cost him about just shy of 2 seconds.
Yeah, because he had a faster pit time than Banks did.
Yeah, I just don't think he stayed out on those extra laps, and it cost him. And I don't think that's going to be, a lap or 2 difference in the long run is probably not going to be enough.
Unless we get a caution, I hate to say that's going to be the only way Morris is going to be able to catch Banks.
Not really seeing too many battles right now on track.
Yeah, we got Emmanuel, Riggs, and Regan.
That's about the only one I'm really seeing. Everybody else seems pretty well spaced out.
And you know the way Regan's been driving, he's got a real good shot at it. But they all really need a caution to benefit them.
Yeah, without a caution, I don't see the top two changing for sure. 3, 4th, 5th, potentially, but I just unless somebody makes a mistake, I don't really see a whole lot of change. Now back here, say 6th, 7th, all the way up to 10th. You know, there's intervals that can be overcome, but I don't think at the front we're gonna see a whole lot. It's like Ed Morris was able to gain some time though that last lap, took about a half a second off.
Yeah, he's sitting about a second and a half behind them.
Yeah, I think the lap before he was like 2.2, something like that behind. So he definitely gained that last lap. Could be traffic, could be pushing the car a little harder. Hard to tell, but
And it could be Banks saving just in case he's got to fight Morris.
well, I mean, he doesn't have to, you know, gain. He's just got to kind of maintain, right? Save the tires.
Regan shooting inside of 61 manual.
Yeah, it looks like Cody Riggs kind of fell off of that battle. 42's kind of fallen back now. He's paying the price for pitting early.
Tony Gavette, you know, he's really turned it around considering everything he went through.
Yeah, he's definitely having a good run tonight. Sitting P5. 42 is struggling right now.
Like, Barkley says he's riding that struggle bus.
Yeah, that's just the old tires. I'm not sure what lap he pitted on, but I know it was quite a bit earlier than the rest of the leaders. So they're just flying by him. Nothing he can really do there, but just try to maintain and hope for a caution.
Tony, don't look now. Morse has got him down to a half second.
I think he's pushing the car pretty hard to overcome that.
I think Hughes may have played a factor on that one. These guys both pitted at the same time, so he's either pushing or Banks playing conservative.
Morris did stay out a lap or two after Banks pitted. I don't think that's going to be that much of a difference, but it's definitely a little bit. You know, I got to think it's a little bit of a difference. Just those extra couple laps on tires.
Pretty much, that's gonna stays green. That's gonna be your battle for the win right
there. Yeah, Ed Morris is there. He's driving it deeper into the corner, and he found something. He drove it deeper and gets a better run off the corner. Not sure what he found, but whatever it is, it's definitely working for him.
Starting to see a little spiciness between Regan and Schaefer.
Ed Morris Jr. is coming up on his dad.
Banks sticking it right underneath that bumper. And you know what? For Morris to have the situation he had with Rogers and to recover the way he has, that's a fight right there.
Absolutely, we caught it. We saw him get caught up in that big one we had, and to drive back up to the lead is pretty impressive.
It's pretty much spread out. I mean, we got a little battle breaking between Sack and Newbrow. And Dakota just took it into the pits. So he may be hoping for a caution. Late caution with that new set of tires on. Because it usually takes him about 10, 12 laps for him to get heated up and good. So it might play out in his favor on this one.
I just think he's going to end up a lap down. So best case scenario, caution does come out. He takes a wave round. He's still starting behind 14 cars, give or take.
But with the freshest tires.
Yes, absolutely.
We've seen tires can make a difference.
But I'll tell you what, Ed Morris was able to get around Brandon Banks, but he's not able to really drive away. It just kind of seems like they're kind of just staying at that same gap, about 0.3 of a second.
Yeah, in your last lap, Morris, not much faster, but
judging by
tenths.
Judging by the distance, it looks like they're kind of just right on top of each other. Neither of them are really gaining or losing.
And they both just ran exact same lap times that lap, 32.5, 32.05.
That's about what it looked like on screen as well.
See Park coming in, pit. Yeah, 0.5 of a second on lap time. That's not much. But I don't think he can get back up there. But Regan's charging. He's all the way up to P3.
Yeah. 10-second gap, though. He would definitely need a caution to close that up. And with, 15 laps to go?
Yeah, caution's going to be detrimental right now for somebody. We've got a group of 4 right here. Newbrow, Emmanuel, Riggs, Vaughn.
Yeah, I think if there's going to be a caution, that's where it's going to come from.
Yeah.
Emmanuel's running top, cutting it down to the bottom, just doing everything he can to try and make a move on the 6. And we'll see. It's a long race. We'll see how everybody's patience is.
Vincent and Riggs get pretty door-to-door with each other. Now, they're closing the gap on Schaefer, so Schaefer's fixing to be a factor here.
There's the
there
caution.
it is.
6 and the 26. Looks like the 26 came up, and
There was some net code there too. I hate to say it because
it might have been.
That car jerked hard to the right. Well, Tony, I hate to say it, but we called that one.
Yep, that was a tight group, old tires. Yeah, 26 washed up the track, and 6 was there. They just barely touched, but in the corner, that's enough to spin the car around. So.
And Riggs got lucky. The swinging door opened. He drove right through it. The flag is still flying.
Well, 10 laps to go. I don't know who's got a set of tires left and who doesn't, but
Orndorff.
if you got one, it might be a race-winning move. And is this the break William Reagan needed to get up there? Oh, 54 in the 07. Late move to pit road. Got into each other.
This is. Let's see. I'm trying to. Orndorff's going to get the waiver right. He is the lucky dog.
So right now, William Reagan is being shown as the leader, which means the 2 and the 5 will get a waiver round. But any lap cars behind them, aside from the lucky dog, are going to be trapped. So they will not get their laps back. So after that late move to pit road, the 07, he lost a spot because of that, and the 54 was able to come out of the pits first.
This is going to be interesting. This is what it's all came down to, Tony.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have a couple cautions here. Old tires against new tires.
DBR against North South.
And the guys on new tires are going to be looking to make moves as soon as they can. We'll have like maybe 8 laps to go,
And
probably less.
that's going to be Banks, Morris Jr., Hendricks, and Schaefer.
Yeah, so they're going to be trying to make moves around these guys on older tires here. And the older tire guys are going to try to keep their car in one line. On these older tires, it's really hard to hook the bottom and do it at a fast speed. So if somebody can't do it and wash up, it could potentially take out quite a few cars. So we may see multiple cautions here.
Well, before we do that, we're going to give Cutscene that shout out one more time while we're under caution, and we're going to try to stay green flag and with you the rest of the race. So sit tight, we'll be right back.
It's been the first thing that's really worked for me to put me to sleep.
Helps relax me when I'm trying to go to bed.
All just really spectacular. It also helps you put yourself into a routine.
I feel like I'm drinking lemonade. You guys give it a shot.
It works! It works! It's good!
Just try it.
This is, you got them 4 right there, freshest tires. Banks, Morris Jr., Hendricks, Schaefer. Right there's where the battle's going to be. Seeing how they can get through the traffic and trying to hold off each other at the same time.
Well, we're going to see.
Then again, you cannot. Well, Dakota got stuck. He did get stuck a lap down. He did not get the lucky dog. I have a feeling he will have have another opportunity for that. And oh, we have a little issue here.
Oh, Gary Sachs spins it out.
Well, the checkered flag has flown, so possibility of a
Did we run out of time? We
time
ran out
limit.
of time. Yep, we sure did.
Ooh. This is not going to play out well.
Well, we almost made it to the end. Well, if my standings are correct, that's going to give the win to Emmanuel Forget, and Gary Sack will come in second, and Sylvain Gallant will be third.
Checkered flag hit. 159.38. Green flag, which, yeah, y'all gonna enjoy sorting this one.
Well, we have a good admin team to sort through all the mayhem and make sure we get all this straightened out.
Unofficial, and I mean unofficial. It's flagging. Emmanuel is the winner. Sack in second. Sylvian in third. Riggs in fourth. Cedric Broswell in fifth. Morris, Banks, Hendricks, and Schaefer is going to be running out 6th, 7th, 8th. That is not your official standings right there.
Sounds like they're talking about it right now, trying to figure out where everything fell.
We are not going to leave until we have a definite winner. Tony, if you need to leave for a moment to handle it, I'll talk to a couple of possibility winners.
Yeah, I think I might jump up here and see what's what. So I'll be back.
All right. Well, Tony gets that sorted out. We'll not 100% sure, but we're gonna bring William Regan up here for a minute. We're gonna talk to Regan for a second, as everything is not officially official, William, but he was in a good spot. But how'd the race go for you tonight?
I don't even know. I'm sorry. They're going off in. I'm trying to mute them. Again. Yeah, I don't even know what happened with this race. It was running green for a while. It was running well for a while, and I mean, right there at the end, nobody knew what was happening, and I was just trying to make sure I beat Tony to the line, and it's just all in chaos, and it's great. Everything's fine.
Well, you kept your car pretty clean. I mean, you had some pretty close calls, and it's the unofficial, as it's saying, we've got like two different setbacks on it. One is saying Emmanuel, Gary, and Sylvian got 1, 2, 3. We got another one saying you, Tony, and Emmanuel got 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah, because both me and Tony got black flags right there through the system because, like I said, I was trying to make sure that I got to him to the line because I didn't know what they were gonna do. But I tell you what, it was a fun race. We're starting to get some heat in the series now. Everyone's starting to get a little frustrated. Not everyone's cutting a lot of people slack. I mean, I'm trying to get better as a racer and be a little more aggressive. And I think it was Tony Cavett. I pushed him into 3 to get past Davey. And he came over the radio. It's like, man, you're being a little aggressive. But I had the better tires, and I was trying to hunt down the leader. I couldn't see how far away they were from me. So, I mean, I love the racing that's happening in the series right now. I think these next few races are going to get a little spicy because it seems like patience is starting to run thin, but we'll see where it goes.
Well, speaking of spicy, Tony is back with us. So, Tony, you got any news for us?
Yes, so the official finishing order is William Reagan. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Tony Cavett was in second, and Gary Sack finished third.
Well, Reagan, right there it is. You was up here anyway, so man, it's floor's gonna be yours.
Man, I don't even know how I got up in the front of this race. I expected to run like top 10, and then pit strategy got messed up. For some reason, people pit right there at the end when we knew we only had like 3 minutes left, and they just kind of handed to me the win. And I'll take it. You take the checkered flag when it lands in your lap.
Yeah, I have a feeling that people weren't looking at the time and like, oh, I still got a set of tires. But yeah, I mean, kind of just the way it played out, man. So congratulations on making the right move at the right time.
Yeah, I now I just know I gotta be a little more aggressive always, because like I said, this last run, I wasn't giving people space because they had been chopping my nose off for the last run, and you got tires and you gotta go. So that's how you get the win. And glad to get 2 wins this season. Got 1 win last season. Keep stepping it up.
Yeah, man. And 3 weeks left before the playoffs start, so you'll be sitting in a good spot, racking up those wins.
Yeah, definitely excited. Definitely trying to make the top 4 this season. I don't think I'm gonna win. I'd love to say that I would, but I'm a realist. But if I can just make top 4 for the end of the season, it's gonna be an awesome achievement.
Brother, we're gonna shoot you back down. Let you give those shout outs real quick.
Yeah. As always, Gary Sack, man, it's great being his teammate. It's great having him as a team owner. Trying to get him a win. I was trying to see if I could position him to get the win on this restart if we got a green white checkered, but it is what it is. So yeah, shout out to him. He's awesome.
All right, brother. Congratulations on winning that crown jewel in Relentless Racing, and we'll see what you got next week.
All right, catch you guys later.
Well, Tony, you said it was going to be spicy, but this was not the spiciness I was expecting. A time
Definitely
checkered
not.
flag. I believe that is the first in Relentless Racing history.
I believe you are correct.
Well, without further ado, I believe, we've talked to Regan, who won the race. I believe you said Cavett was in second.
Yes.
So we can get Tony up here. Drag him in that 76 right up here. He's right place at the right time. Had a rough race, but Lady Luck prevailed for you.
Yeah, we got lucky right there. That's for sure. I mean, I was gonna finish fourth before that caution came out. Is what I figured I was gonna finish fourth, but yeah, we got lucky. I feel bad for Ed and Brandon and them guys. I mean, that was their race, and yeah, they shouldn't have pit there.
Well, I mean, second place kind of fell in your lap, but let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Were you out of tires, or did you actually look at the time limit?
No, I had another set because I didn't. We all the DVR guys, we didn't take a set of tires on that first caution in stage 1 or whatever in the first stage. We saved the set for the end in case we needed it. So I actually had a set in there, but I'm like, man, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this. So I stayed out. Him and Brandon Brandon and Brandon, they both came in, but yeah, they should have stayed out. Looking at it now.
Well, I mean, hindsight's 2020, but you know,
Yeah, I mean, I was content on getting the fourth after I got in that altercation in the middle of the race. I was done. I had 3.5 minutes of damage, so thought I
Well,
was done anyway.
you stayed in the fight and brought home a P2. So congratulations on that. You made the right call to stay out there at the end, and it worked out for you.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like I said, I just feel bad for those guys because I mean they were definitely 1, 2, 3. Well, anyway, but it is what it is. Hey, I've had bad luck go my way, so about the time I get some good luck.
Well, there you go, man. Well,
Right.
so you're up here in the top 3, so you get any shout outs you want to give, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to thank my wife for putting up with me, getting on here, racing with the guys all the time, and want to thank all my teammates at Drinking Bros Racing. We have a blast racing with each other every time we get on here. A lot of fun. I want to thank the admins of the league and for all they do to put this league on, and Southern Broadcast for the nice broadcast that y'all put out for us. And we got, what is that, Cutscene? They sponsor the league, and I don't know all of them. Jab It PC. I want to thank all of them, and Paul's Setup Shop. They work with us on getting good setups for the cars and hook us all up every week. So.
And I have a feeling y'all gonna have a little bit of plan devised for next week. But congratulations on P2, and we'll see you next week, bud.
All right, I appreciate it. Y'all have a good evening.
Well, Tony, he's probably shocked he's in third, and you know he had a pretty good comeback considering what he'd went through. But we got Gary Sack up here with us, and Gary, are you happy right now?
I'd say so. I needed a decent finish.
Well, Gary, we ran out of time, and you found yourself in P3, man. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Kind of a rough race all the way around. A lot of cautions, a lot of spice, but you able to make it through all that and bring it home up top 3. So, man, how'd your race go?
It was pretty good. At the start of the race for that first stint, I did not take a set of tires. So that's why when Mike got into me at one point during that stint, that's why I was so slow coming through the corner, because I was on 70 lap old tires almost. Because I was going to save a set for the end for a caution late race. But after that, and being in the back at some point during the race, coming back up to third, may have moved one person out of the way to get there, but getting a third, I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, we saw some bumpers coming from you, Gary. Definitely kind of aggressive there, but hey, you did what you had to do and able to bring it home P3.
Man, you up here, you get those shout outs.
Well, I want to shout out William, my teammate, because he's coached me through a lot of not just the speed aspect of getting faster, but he's coached me a lot through the mental aspect. And that's kind of helped me with keeping a level head throughout the race and being able to actually finish. But yeah, I'd like to shout out William, all of my teammates at Silver Rock Racing, and I'd like to shout out you guys for broadcasting. It's always fun Tuesday to go back and look at and watch the race before I go to bed. And yeah, that's all I got.
All right, brother. We're gonna send you back down there to Silver Rock Racing and let y'all do a little celebrating since y'all got 2 of the 3 podium spots.
Alrighty, thank you.
Well, Tony, it's wow, crazy finish.
Very, very much so. Not something that we're used to seeing in this series, but hey, we wanted spicy.
Oh yeah, and y'all got spicy. But I mean, let's see here. Next week we're actually off, so everybody's gonna have a good week to calm down over this one, and they're gonna come right back to Richmond, and their tempers are probably gonna pick right back up where they left off.
Absolutely, definitely. I think a week off is definitely gonna help settle some of these guys down and refocus as we make a run to the playoffs. I believe these guys have 3 races remaining before the playoffs start, so definitely a good time to have an off week.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one. I think we're coming down to the closing end of the playoffs, and you know what? We've got 3 races before we hit the round of 16. So Richmond Auto Club and Talladega, I have a feeling it's going to be pretty spicy to wrap up this season.
Yeah, I think we're going to see desperation come in for some of these guys trying to make that round of 16. So the next 3 races will probably have a little more sense of urgency for several of our drivers, where some of these other guys with wins already can kind of just sit back and let it happen in front of them and see if a win falls their way because of it.
Well, everybody in your top 7, except for Preston Hornbeck and Greg Rogers, has a win. So we've got 7 that are locked in. A total of, let's see, well, we've only got a total of what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 locked in. So it's fixing to get interesting. And cutoff right now is Ed Morris sitting in 16th.
Yeah, I think Ed'll be fine. He's a good driver. He got caught up early on in some wrecks that, just kind of happened in front of him. But I think he'll make his way in. It's a strong Xfinity field this season, so only 16 spots available.
Well, Tony, I appreciate you doing it again with me on a Monday night. We're going to send it out to cutscene and wrap it up, and we're going to do it again week after next.
It's been the first thing that's really worked for me to put me to sleep.
Helps relax me when I'm trying to go to bed.
All just really spectacular. It also helps you put yourself into a routine.
I feel like I'm drinking lemonade. You guys give it a shot.
It works! It works! It's good!
Just try it.